Hello friends. One day Jack received news from his mother Mrs. Loy. She wants to see him to talk about something important. Jack didn't think much. Just thought mom wanted to advise him about work or love story with Tien. But when he got there he was completely surprised. Sitting next to his mother was a middle-aged man. Elegant and classy. He is over 50 but still very handsome. With calm eyes and a gentle smile. His mother smiled softly, took his hand and looked at Jack. Son, I want to introduce to you. This is Mr. Man. Is the partner that mother wants to be with in the years to come. That sentence made Jack stoned. Jack's reaction to son's confusion. Jack never thought his mother would fall in love again. Since his father died, she has been single. Give all love to you and Jordan. Many hardships to raise him to adulthood. He never saw her in any other relationship. Never thought she needed a man by her side. He looked at Mr. Man with mixed thoughts in his heart. Mom, are you sure? She asked, her voice dropping slightly. Mrs. Loy nodded. Her eyes filled with tenderness. I've been alone for too long, son. Mom never thought she would find anyone else. But when she met Mr. Man, mother realized that she still has the right to be happy. Mom doesn't want to be alone in the years to come. Lonely in an empty house. Jack didn't know how to react. I love you, Mom. But he could not immediately accept that his mother. I will be with another man. No matter how good that person is. He looked at Mr. Men. Are you serious about my mom? Mr. Men did not avoid Jack's eyes. He smiled slightly and replied in a deep voice. Jack, I know you're worried. But I want you to understand that I am not here to replace anyone. I just want to take care of your mother. Bring her peace and joy in the remaining years. Jack said nothing. He knew that Mr. Man was not an ordinary person. This man has the air of a seasoned veteran. Unmoved by his scrutiny, but can you accept this? Tien, a different perspective on love. When Jack told the story to Tien, she wasn't as surprised as he thought. On the contrary, she smiled slightly. Jack, your mother is human too. She also has her own feelings and needs companionship. Jack said, I know. But I still can't get used to my mother. There is another man beside. Tien gently held his hand. That's because I never thought, Mom, I can love again. But if she is really happy, then you have nothing to worry about. Jack was silent. He knew Tien was right. But accepting that is another matter. Meeting between Tien and Mr. Men some time later. Tien took the initiative to meet Loy's mother and Mr. Men to talk. She wanted to understand more about the man Jack's mother had chosen. During the meeting, Mr. Min was very polite and calm. He shares about his past. A person who has been through an unhappy marriage. But when I met my mother, I benefited. He felt like he found someone. Can share the remaining days. Jim listened and smiled. Uncle Men, I have no right to decide anything. But if you really love me, then I will always support you. I just hope you will bring happiness to him. Mr. Men nodded, his eyes full of sincerity. Thank you to you, Tien. I promise to do it. Jack gradually accepts that his mother's happiness is more important than anything else. After hearing what Tien said, Jack began to think again. If your mother is really happy, if Mr. Men is not a hypocrite or a manipulator, then why do you have to object? Finally one evening, Jack went to see his mother and Mr. Men. He looked at his mother, then turned to look at Mr. Men. I can't say I completely accept it right now, but I will not object anymore. As long as you really love my mother, I will not interfere. Loy's mother smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. Thanks, Jack, that's all I wanted. Mr. Men also nodded with eyes full of respect. Love is not just the intense emotions of youth, but also sharing and companionship. In the years to come, Jack learned that everyone has the right to love and happiness, including his mother. And Tien, with her gentleness and understanding, helped Jack see things with a more open heart. In the end, I probably won't just accept my mother's new love, but also learned an important lesson. Sometimes love is for the people you care about, have the right to choose their own happiness. After Jack gradually accepted that his mother had a lover, I thought things would go slowly. But a few weeks later, Mother Loy suddenly announced to him and Tien Mom and Uncle Men will have a small wedding. Mom was a new start, probably widened his eyes, and Tien smiled and congratulates you. This is good news, Tien happily said. But Jack was not too excited, even though he tried to accept that his mother had a new lover. The wedding is too fast a step than what he imagined. Mom, do you need to rush like that? Are you sure? Loy's mother looked at him with gentle but firm eyes. Jack's mother has been lonely for a long time. I want to enjoy the years to come with dear mother. There is no reason to hesitate. Jack looked at Tien as if to seek support. Tien gently squeezed his hand and said softly, Jack, sometimes happiness comes without having to wait too long. What matters is how you feel. Jack was silent. He knew he couldn't be selfish. Cannot keep mother in arms forever, without letting her seek her own happiness. After careful consideration, Jack decided to help his mother organize the wedding. Anyway, this is her big day. Tien is the one who takes the initiative to plan. She chose a small, cozy restaurant where only close people are present. When discussing with Jack, she smiled mischievously. Do you see this time? He is not the one who has a headache about his own wedding, but it is your mother's. Jack sighed, but smiled too. He never thought his mother would marry again, but now he was the one running around, taking care of her wedding. The wedding took place in a warm atmosphere. Mother Loy wore a simple traditional dress, but she looked brighter than ever. Jack was the one who walked his mother down the aisle. Although my heart is still a little fluttered when I saw her smile, I just realized that all these years, she sacrificed so much for him. Now it's her turn to be happy. Mom, you deserve this, probably whispered when handing mother to Mr. Men. Mother holding son's hand, eyes filled with tears. Thanks, Jack. Tien stood next to Jack and gently leaned her head on his shoulder. I think you will be like that in the future too. When his son grew up, I will have a day like this too. Jack laughed. So I hope that if the day comes, your son won't be confused like you are now. After the wedding, Louis' mother and Mr. Men started a new life together. Full of joy, Jack no longer keeps his distance from Mr. Men. He gradually realized that Mr. Men really loved his mother. And most importantly, his mother is happy. Tien and Jack also understood one thing. Love doesn't always follow a set pattern. The important thing is, find someone who can go with you to the end of the road. Mother Loy's happiness is a proof of that. And who knows, in the future Jack and Tien will also have a happy ending like that. Jack went through a range of emotions when faced with his mother's decision to remarry. From confusion and skepticism to acceptance and support. I gradually realized something important. Everyone has the right to happiness, regardless of age or past. Mother Prophet, after years of sacrifice for son, finally found a companion for the years later. Jack, although initially a little unfamiliar, but he wanted to put his mother's happiness first, on one's own prejudices. About Tien. She is not just a person standing next to Jack, but also help him open his heart. Understand that love is not just possession, but also respect and sharing. Finally, mother's wedding. Not only does it mark a new beginning for her, but also a profound lesson for Jack and Tien on the true meaning of love. Because happiness doesn't come from keeping someone around, but to give them the freedom to choose their own path.